They called it the Old Tooele Hospital, but the locals whispered other names: the Cradle of Screams, the Hollow Ward, or simply, the place where Mercy died. Built in the late 1800s in Tooele, Utah, the hospital had been many things: ***, a family home, a clinic, an asylum ***, and later, a nursing home. But no matter who occupied it, the walls always seemed to remember one thing: suffering. In 2001, the building was converted into a Halloween haunted house called Asylum 49. Actors dressed as doctors and ghosts screamed at guests for fun. But sometimes, the guests screamed, for real. Visitors often walked through a room with an actor wearing a blood-stained apron, only to realize later that no such actor had been scheduled for that room. Others came out pale, shaking, saying someone whispered in their ear, but no one had been near them. Then the staff began experiencing the worst of it. Shadow figures walked behind them in the halls. Children's voices called out from empty rooms. An old man in a hospital gown would be seen sitting in the lobby, ***, but only in mirrors ***. And in the basement, all equipment failed. There was one door in the basement with no hinges, welded shut decades ago. Staff called it Room 666, though it had no official label. Rumors claimed this part of the basement had been sealed after illegal surgeries were discovered there in the 1940s. Back when the building briefly served as a private asylum, an unlicensed doctor allegedly performed crude experiments on mentally ill patients: shock therapy with wet wires, blood transfusions without anesthesia, and even early lobotomies with ice picks. They said the screams from that room weren't forgotten by the walls. One night, a ghost hunting crew came in with thermal cameras, spirit boxes, and EMF detectors. The moment they approached room 666, every device shut off. Not just once, repeatedly. One crew member, Jason, walked toward the door and began shaking. He muttered something none of them could understand, then collapsed. When he woke up, he said he'd seen a woman tied to a metal bed, her mouth sewn shut, staring at him with wide, wet eyes. She mouthed one word: ***stay***. He never returned to the building again. In 2014, during the Halloween season, the haunted house was in full swing when a young actress named Celia was placed in the former nurse's parlor. Her job was simple: sit in a rocking chair and hum a lullaby. But something about the room felt off. It always smelled faintly of bleach and iron, and the rocking chair would sometimes rock by itself, long before guests entered. One night, Celia didn't come out after her shift. A staff member went in and found her standing in the corner, facing the wall, humming to herself in a voice that wasn't hers. When they touched her shoulder, she turned, eyes rolled back, mouth stretched wide, and whispered, ***, we never left. We never left. We never left, ***. Then she collapsed. Celia quit the job, cut off all contact, and was later seen talking to herself in a grocery store, drawing spirals on her arms with a pen. Other staff members reported feeling followed. At least 3 people had vivid dreams of being trapped in a hospital bed while masked nurses leaned over them whispering about reopening the lower ward. One even woke up with old hospital wristbands around his arm that no one could explain. Today, the Old Tooele Hospital operates openly as a haunted attraction, proudly advertising its real ghosts. But behind the scenes, staff members have to sign waivers acknowledging paranormal risks. Cameras fail, batteries drain, and people sometimes go missing, even inside locked rooms. A former caretaker, Martha, once stayed late to count costumes and props. At 2:43 a.m., she called 911 whispering, "I hear something breathing inside the walls." The line went dead. When police arrived, they found all the doors locked from the inside and Martha curled into a fetal position under a bed. She never spoke again. Visitors often report a man in a doctor's coat walking past the windows, even when the building is closed. Others hear gurneys squeaking at night, or a faint beep, 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 like a heart monitor counting down. And every few years, someone breaks into the basement trying to open room 666. No one has succeeded. But one day, that door might open again, and the woman with the sewn mouth may finally speak. When she does, you'd better hope you weren't there to hear it.